Thank you for joining us today for our second in our series of four Steps to Success in Social Care webinar series. Today's session will be focusing on managing risk and safeguarding people you support with IPlanet. So myself and my colleague Lisajane will be taking you through that today. So just to bring you through a little bit of information about Aspirico, which is the company we all work for. Aspirico is the company behind IPlanet. IPlanet's the software system we're talking about today. Now, Aspirico is underpinned by a set of values that we summarise in the Avita values. And these are around evidence and value, inclusion, transparency and accountability. So thinking about evidence and value around how do we really demonstrate this? We're delivering high quality, high value services to inspectors and funders. This is a principle that's underpinned all of the iterations of the IPlanet development and one of the things we help our customers to achieve. How do we ensure that we're working inclusively? How do we include service users, patients, tenants, whoever they may be, their friends, family and other people involved in their lives, and really promote person-centred, person-focused services? Thinking about transparency, how do we ensure that team members and carers are always on top of what needs to be done to manage risk and progress those outcomes? So how do we create that level playing field? How do we know that everybody really is working in a truly transparent environment? And moving on from that, thinking around accountability and creating a sense of accountability within the culture. Creating a culture among staff of accountability and true ownership based on the person's outcomes, their aspirations and their wishes and the achievements of those things. So those values really do underpin all of our work, everything that we strive to achieve with and on behalf of our customers. So thinking about summarising IPlanet where we are today, we're around the 50 mark now of provider implementations. We're working with a really diverse group of organisations, both in the British Isles and beyond. We are currently working on a number of projects within Australia and New Zealand, a wide range of implementations in different organisations across all areas in the United Kingdom. So we've got an expanding functional footprint within that. So IPlanet's developed at an astounding rate over recent years. It's a very established system, but it's never stood still. So we're currently at version 4.3 and rapidly approaching the release of IPlanet 5.0 with a wide range of new functionality included. We work with customers across all long-term care sectors, those being learning disabilities, people who have learning disabilities, physical disabilities, people experiencing mental health, or people who are older. We're working with a wide range of younger people now as well, in both statutory and non-statutory organisations. Our providers really do range from small and regional providers to large national organisations and beyond that. We work with third sector organisations, charitable organisations. In some cases we work directly with funders, commissioners and statutory services, and also privately owned providers as well. So IPlanet really does meet a wide range of needs across a wide range of delivery types. So after working through our introduction, I'm now happy to bring you to the theme-based elements of today's presentation. I'm going to hand you over to Lisajane just now, and we're going to really look at managing risk and safeguarding people you support using IPlanet. So thank you so much for joining us, and over to Lisajane.
Hi everyone, it's great to see so many of you here today. So let's get started. I'm just going to give you a short presentation and then some actual screenshots of IPlanet before we move into the live demo with Nikki. So why IPlanet? As we often mention during our webinars, plans can look great on paper, but often the aspirations and actions are not achieved for people supported, or known to be achieved is more to the point. You know, we provide such good support to people, but how is it captured? How is it evidenced? That's often one of the issues that we come across with providers. More importantly, risks are not often balanced and sometimes can affect people's hopes and dreams. We also know that things in life, in your work life, like contract reviews and the usual tensions and compliance issues that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, can take up so much of your time. Our aim is to show you how IPlanet can help you manage risk and safeguard people while still driving up quality. So what does IPlanet do? Well, IPlanet captures changes as they happen. So with all people's plans, outcomes, support needs and risks, everything is captured as it's happening. You don't have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks for a review. You don't have to wait for the recordings of how an outcome is being delivered. So the whole point of IPlanet is that everything, whether it's from a person's support plan, a risk management plan, a management report, anything that you need, it happens without delay. And when we talk about risk and risk management, the delay to people supported that I've come across when they're trying to get on with their lives is often quite huge. IPlanet helps to keep plans alive, track outcomes and ensure things are happening, keep risks and actions up to date and recorded for you, for people supported. So again, people supported are not waiting around for their organisation to help them live the life they want. IPlanet constantly captures the evidence and keeps family and other professionals up to date, which in turn can only improve people's lives. There's so many potential risks for each person, as I'm sure you're all aware, whether it be from money management, medication, isolation, abuse and neglect, and the list goes on and on. IPlanet helps to inform and balance risk by making sure people's plans are properly informed, by capturing all aspects of the person's life, from their needs and their wishes, to even the circle of supports perspectives and other professionals' perspectives, and all that really important information that we collect on IPlanet through people's support plans. What matters to the person, the important stuff, the important to, and then not forgetting we've got to balance it with what's needed for the person, the important for, as I'm sure you're all very, very familiar with. So what's the challenge? Generally, in my experience, when we enter into social care, it's not because of the fancy cars or the swanky hotels or the fantastic expenses that we receive, but generally because we have a notion that we can help people achieve changes for in their lives for the better, and also that we can make a difference in our communities and wider society through our work. However, we enter into our professional training and we realise that there's much, much more to being in social care than just those drivers, those things that motivated us into the work in the first place. We discover we also have responsibilities to a wide range of people, and not just those we support in our services, and the list can sometimes seem never-ending. We're therefore constantly balancing three main strands in our work: need, risk and rights, which I'll come on to. Our positions in social care management is much, much more like the juggler you see here on the screen, balancing a series of plates on a number of poles, trying to keep them all spinning at the same time, using our skills and expertise and hoping that none of them will fall. And as we live in a very complex cultural world where we need risk, where needs and risks and rights are interpreted differently, then we must ensure that our documentation to evidence the need, risk and rights balance has been properly assessed and carried out. Risk aversion is often inherent in organisations due to mainly the fear of blame among staff and fear of litigation against the organisation. And unfortunately, in my experience, this is often combined with perceived limitations of people with disabilities and older people, and the fear that they will cause harm to themselves or others. As a result, many organisations and their staff will attempt to control situations by eliminating the risk at all costs, which is a real shame for people supported. Even if this impacts upon the independence and choices of people supported, sometimes the need for risk aversion feels like our greatest priority. So IPlanet is here to assist with that. Positive risk-taking, identifying people's needs and people's risks and people's rights, and turning them into manageable, positive outcomes for people, so that it also provides a clear and transparent method of recording and reporting without affecting anybody's life negatively. So how can we help? Well, risk always, as you know, needs to be carefully balanced with safeguarding arrangements, health and safety procedures and policies arising from our duty of care towards people supported. Risk cannot be eradicated, but it can be minimised by preparing for it, assessing it and managing it. IPlanet helps to ensure that you as our customers can deliver good support, do this in a transparent and inclusive way, involve relevant stakeholders, capture all good practice, evidence good practice and people's achievements, do this efficiently in a non-burdensome way. Now, wouldn't that be nice? Well, this is what IPlanet does. It helps you to enable staff and people supported to work together to identify, assess and manage risk in a transparent, multi-agency and outcome-focused way. So it's not the role of the staff to eliminate risk and keep people safe from all harm at all costs. Rather, it's the role of the staff to support people to make informed choices by thinking about risks and weighing up the potential positive and negative outcomes. Well, iPlanet captures all this information in a clear, person-centred way. It enables actions, it enables outcomes to be taken, whilst risk management is thoroughly documented and carried out.